Hello, my name is Dr. Kimberly Green, and I am the chair of the MAE curriculum team here at Brown University. You are watching this video, hopefully, most likely, because you're preparing to work on your demonstration of mastery for the Teaching and Learning MAE, Master's Emphasis. So, let me walk you through a little bit of the nuts and bolts and then talk about what you see in the rubric, what you're really trying to accomplish with your demonstration of mastery, your portfolio. To get the handbook, which is really where you want to start with this, go to the student page for My Brandman and then scroll down. You'll want to go to Schools and Programs, School of Education, and then you're going to scroll down some more. You'll be doing a lot of scrolling at the beginning. You want to look at the MAE page. Now you see some information at the top, but to get to your handbook, you scroll down. Remember I said there'd be plenty of scrolling. And be very careful with which one you pick. We've had some problems in the past with people actually getting the wrong handbook and then they're doing the wrong thing. So look for the Teaching and Learning DOM Demonstration of Mastery Portfolio Guidelines. Download that. You'll actually want to download it. Depending on which browser you're using, it may open, but this is a document you really want to hold on to. So when we go through what all is here, this is where you're going to want to specifically focus in. The different analytical writing prompts. Now, let's think philosophically for a second. There is a misnomer that simply because you've completed all your classes, all you have to do is stuff your signature assignments into the portfolio and you're done. But that is really an incorrect way of thinking about this. Yes, you've done all the work, but your portfolio truly is a demonstration of mastery. Think of it as a defense. Your analytical writing sections, your narratives, that's your voice, clearly communicating to your professors, to a group of academics who all serve on the master's team, that you truly have grown and gained in the depth of understanding desired and expected of one who has earned a master's degree. Simply having done the work isn't enough. If you equate it with your own work with your own students, whether you're an educator or you're an administrator or someone involved anywhere else in education, even though the work has been done, there still needs to be this ultimate demonstration of mastery where you bring it all together and in your own words are able to communicate just what you understand at this point, how you've synthesized, how you've grown in the ability to craft insights, where you've come from where you started. That is what this is really about. The portfolio is not merely a delivery device. It truly is your defense. You're standing before a committee and saying, yes, as of right now, where I stand now, having completed all those classes, here is what I see, here is what I think, here's what I'm going to do going forward. There are specific prompts to guide your writing for each section, but you really want to be mindful of what it is you're sharing with the committee. So, we'll get there. Let's go on. Okay, so again, yes, it is a digital collection of course signature assignments and other artifacts of your engagement with your own learning throughout each class. But the narrative is very, very important. What must be included? You notice there are 7 sections. The introduction, then we focus on research, which has a specific PLO. Your master's program was built upon a set of program learning outcomes, PLOs. And there were specific courses where it was your job to be able to demonstrate mastery of that individual PLO. Section 2 is research. That correlates to the PLO on your being able to meaningfully and professionally be engaged in doing research that supports your professional practice. Section 3 is democratic schools. Section 4, global perspectives. Now think for a second. That was EDUU 607. Democratic schools, EDUU 605. The research one does tend to confuse a couple of people. They think it's 600, your first class, which was research. But you couldn't really demonstrate mastery. That's an introductory level course for the whole of the program. So actually, the research component was/is the research project that you did in EDUU 608, your ethnography. If you take a moment and step back, you can see where the correlations are there. Section 5, learning theory, that's 606. The next one is curriculum design. That is 609, the seminar in curriculum design. And then ethics. Now, ethics was embedded into each one of your courses. And we did change, about a year and a half ago, we changed what that specific demonstration of mastery was. You'll see that when we get to that section. Previously, and for people who took EDUU 609 over a year and a half ago, there was a specific paper on ethics. But when we made some updates to the program, we removed that paper and we embedded your ethics demonstration of mastery component into 608 because we recognized there was such overlap and the correlations were so clear, it made more sense for you. All right, so when you get to that section and you see the two prompts you choose between, that's why that exists. All right, so let's move forward. For each section, you will have a specific signature assignment to include, except for section 1. Why? Because in your introduction, there was no such thing as a demonstration of mastery for introduction. However, this is where your personal assessment against the professional dispositions upon which the whole of the program is built, that's where that comes in. All right? So think of it this way. Every section has your narrative and as well a minimum of 2 artifacts. You can have up to 3, but you have to have 2. All right? And those are clearly written out for you, what must be there and then what your options are for the other ones. All right? So again, sections 2 through 7, written response to each of the writing prompts. Each analysis you're writing for each one should be 500 to 750 words. That actually goes pretty fast. Especially remember that your writing needs to be APA formatted. What does that mean? Double spaced, appropriate margins, 12-point font, and any citing that you do, which I'll talk about in a moment because you really want to, any citing that you do has to be done properly, noted in the writing itself and then at the bottom of your narrative in a references section. No, it doesn't have to be a completely formal paper with a title page, but basic APA formatting with those citations clearly and appropriately formatted. All right? And then again, the artifacts. Each section should have at least 2. You can have 3. Sometimes people ask, well, do I have to have 3? No, you don't. But again, this is serving as your defense. So why would you not want to make it as strong as you possibly could? That's a question for you to answer. So now, let's look at the specific prompts. For section 2, and here is that PLO, design research based upon one or more methodology. What is the corresponding signature assignment that needs to be artifact number 1? Your ethnographic study from EDUU 608. Here is the prompt. I'm not going to read it to you. Don't worry. Please recognize, and this is a mistake a lot of people make, you are doing three different things in your response. Number one, you are directly addressing the prompt as it is written. Number two, you are giving a sense of how your artifacts support what you've shared in your narrative and your understanding of the PLO. So you definitely want to include something in there, whether it's my opinion on research has changed. You'll note I clarify in my artifact number 2 that I believe research is now blah, 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 blah. Give the people who are assessing, the professors, the assessors, give them something specific to look at in your artifacts that clarifies your understanding, your belief, your growth, your action that relates to your understanding of the PLO. The more specific you are, again, the better case you're presenting that indeed I not only did the work, but now I have grown and I have the understanding and the depth of knowledge expected of someone who has a master's degree. So it's not just simply, yes, I learned and here's what I learned. You want to include what to look for in those artifacts that supports your understanding of the PLO and your answering to the prompt. Now remember I said three things, right? So number one, the prompt. Number two, something that helps us understand why those artifacts help demonstrate your mastery. What's the third one? This one kind of throws people, so please listen carefully. What you did in those courses, please don't be afraid to show growth. That's the whole point. Sometimes people misunderstand and they have this feeling that, well, I just have to present perfection. But the point of your being in this master's program was to grow. So please use what you got in those classes, experiences. When I was in 608, we had this one conversation, or we read this quote from the author that really struck me and helped me recognize that what I'd been doing before wasn't as strong, blah, blah, blah. Something along those lines. So this relates to what I was saying before about quoting and citing. The more you can meaningfully use authors, concepts, theories, quotes from the class, from your text, from the important theorists you've studied, that really supports the person assessing the portfolio in recognizing, wow, this person was really engaged throughout the class. So, do you have to quote? No. Should you? It makes your case that much stronger. Someone can complete the portfolio. They can put in the signature assignments. They can write narratives that simply answer the prompt and still not pass because they haven't demonstrated a genuine growth and understanding of all that is expected. So I'm giving you a very strong recommendation. Use your texts. Use your experiences. The more specific you can be and where you quote or where you paraphrase or even summarize in your narratives, the stronger the case you are making for the assessors. Remember, they don't know you. They're not going to have some memory of who you were in class and be able to go, oh, I get what she's talking about. She's relating this to when we were in class, blah, blah, blah. You have to think of going into the room with people who've never met you, and you, again, you're presenting your case that you truly have earned your master's degree. Citing, paraphrasing, quoting, summarizing. The more you do that meaningfully, the stronger your case. All right? So section 2 is PLO 1, and it's the ethnographic study from 608. Let's move on. We move on to section 3, which is PLO2 Democratic Schools. From 605, artifact number 1 is your Democratic Action Plan. Same advice I just gave you. Really talk about your growth. Talk about what you feel now, what you got from the experience. Respond to the prompt as specifically and meaningfully as you can. Section 4, Global Perspectives, PLO number 3. Here's EDU 607, Comparative Analysis Research Paper. Same advice as before. Section 5, Learning Theory, PLO 4. This is 606. And the research paper from EDU 606. Section 6 is Curriculum Design. Let's be really clear with this one. Evaluate curriculum design and curricular decisions as they relate to meeting the diverse needs of students. This is one of those things that gets talked about and focused on a lot in the class, and yet when people come in and do this section, sometimes they miss this very last piece. Please don't miss that. All right? And again, here's the A, B, and C that we should see addressed directly in your narrative. Section 7, this is the one I mentioned before, where we changed the assignment about a year and a half ago, back in 2015. If you took EDUU 609 before Fall 1 2015, you had a specific ethics paper. If you took it after, you did not, so you used prompt B. Please pay attention. We've had people get confused here and use the wrong prompt. All right? Now, all of these specifics about submitting, about how it gets scored, about how you get notified, that is all done through a different office. I am your guide, and whatever fellow faculty is serving as your mentor, we are your guides to this academic side of this demonstration of mastery. But anything to do with the nuts and the bolts and the money and the this and that, that all goes through a different department, the credentialing department, okay? And they're lovely people. Please don't be afraid to send them an email and ask them questions. There's the professional disposition self-assessment document. That is what goes into section 1 with your introduction. Some people use the actual document themselves. They get it off the website. Some people create their own matrix. Either one is fine. Just make sure you're very clear with what you are presenting. And then how do you get the actual portfolio template to use? Let's take a look. You go into live, and again, that's all there, but for those who are more visual and would like to actually see it done, you go into live text. You go into documents, and under live text docs, you're going to first pull your own copy of the template. Click New, and let's search for it. What template are you looking for? You're looking for a portfolio template, a Brandman University portfolio template. Well, which one? You see there's quite a few here. My friends, you are using the new template. Please don't click the old one. You want the new template. Simply click. There it is. You'll see it. It's the one that was modified in 2016. Okay? Look for the one that was modified in 2016. The most recent one. Now what do? Let's see. Let's scroll all the way down to make sure we got the right one. And indeed we do. So click Create Document. What do you want to name it? I would add your name. Boom. Okay. And now I have my own template to complete. It's pretty self-explanatory at this point about adding text or uploading documents. You have an edit button. You have the little blue attachment. If something goes wrong, you can delete it. All right. Now you can play with the formatting here a little bit. Don't move things around, but if you want to add color to make it more your own, remember this is your portfolio. And the great thing about live text is this goes with you out into the real world. you can share this document, this portfolio, and use it when you are applying for a promotion, if you're applying for a new job, you want to go on for another degree, you want to go on for a terminal degree, you please can and should want to use this in the real world. You're able to get a link to send this so that outside people can come in and view your portfolio, which gets to a very specific kind of semi-aesthetic and semi-just really smart point. You are asked for each narrative in each section, right? In each section, you have written analysis to the prompt, and then below, you have your artifacts. You have to have 2. You may have up to 3, but you have to have 2. Now, I get asked all the time, well, can't I just attach the documents? Why do I have to copy and paste? Why do you want to actually see my narrative? Only my narrative. You do not have to copy and paste the content of your artifacts. Those you simply need to attach. Give a title, what is it, and attach it. But your written analysis, you are asked to copy and paste it in as well as attaching it. Why? Again, remember, this is your defense. This is you presenting this to a panel of professors. It takes a great deal of extra time for them to download every single individual document. What you want is to present your best self. So, you are asked specifically to not just write on a Word doc and then attach your written analysis. You are asked to also copy and paste it in so that when the assessor first comes in, they can directly read it. After they read it, when they get a sense of who you are and the depth of your response and how connected you are to really presenting yourself as a master's student, then they click to download the document and double check your APA. Because they know, we understand, that live text will mess up your beautiful formatting. Things don't look double-spaced. Things down below can get jumbled. We understand that, which is why we ask you to attach it. But by having copied and pasted your content for your analysis, your written narrative, by having that in, it gives the assessor that much more of a direct line to you. Think about this from a socio-emotional perspective. I'm coming in, I have an hour and a half to assess a portfolio. It takes time for me to download every document. While I'm reading your analysis and taking the time to really think about it, I can then be downloading all your different documents to check them. It's that much more of a direct connection. I hear your voice, it's right in front of me, and it looks more professional. It doesn't look professional to come into a portfolio and all there are links. But when I see your written analysis right away, boom, there you are, ready to go. It's just like when you show up at a job interview. Are you on time? Are you wearing a nice outfit? Is it clean? Did you shine your shoes? You want to present your best self. That is why you are asked to copy and paste in your narrative as well as attaching it. Everything else you simply need to attach. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please send an email to me or whoever you get assigned to as your MAE T&L academic mentor. All right? And my friends, that really is it. You see all 7 sections are clearly broken out for you. The prompts are all here. Like I mentioned, prompt for section 7, ethics, is the only one where you have to be careful. Do you choose A or do you choose B? It all depends on when you took EDUU 609. If you didn't have the ethical considerations of curriculum design in that class, then you took it before Fall 1, 2015. You took it after Fall 1, 2015. You don't do A. You would do B, where again, we embedded the ethical component into 608. And when you step back and think about it, hopefully you'll recognize why. So we actually pulled an assignment. We figured they're doing enough. We're not all evil, just some of us. All right? Please recognize, we want you to rock this work. We want you to truly show off and demonstrate a depth of understanding and knowledge and insight and the ability to analyze, the ability to make ethical decisions. This is not a hoop to jump through or something designed to trip you up. This truly is your opportunity to shine, shine, shine. All right? And only the Grateful Dead fans out there will understand that, but hopefully I made a few of you smile, smile, smile. Again, if you have any problems, contact your advisor, contact your academic mentor. My email is kgreenE@bramman.edu. Dr. Kimberly Green, Dr. Kate and my students. I am happy to answer your questions. I am happy to support you throughout this process. But this is all you, my friends. This is your chance to really show off, show your best academic professional self. I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.